Hi everybody, this is Dr. Jamie Marich, and in today's video, we're going to be working with two specific hand gestures that you can use that help you in periods where you feel like you're struggling with setting boundaries, and also if you're struggling with being assertive. If you have any experience at all practicing yoga or meditation, it's likely that you're familiar with the art of mudras, or the yoga of hands, so to speak. For example, a very popular one is Anjali Mudra, the prayer hands. You may also know Seal of Knowledge, which is basically the OK symbols with your hands. Lotus Mudra is another very popular one. Now, this video is not really going to be going through all of the different mudras, especially not from a very yoga type of perspective. What I am going to show you though are two modifications on mudras that you can use. As I said when I started this video, if you're struggling with boundary setting or if you're struggling with really kind of standing up for yourself, literally standing up for yourself and being assertive. Now, the funny thing about mudras is this: I didn't start practicing yoga until I was an adult. But I know that even coming up as a child and being in theatrics, I was always very dynamic with using my hands. You may even notice on these videos that I talk with my hands quite a bit. So a lot of these hand skills make good sense to me, even if you kind of take the yoga languaging or the yoga philosophy out of it. So the first one we're going to look at is inviting you here to go ahead and lace your fingers together with the thumbs up like this, literally making, this always looks like a fence to me. And I had a yoga teacher show this to me, where you can go ahead and bring this into your heart. If you watch the video in this series on pressure points, you know that we have a point right here, the Sea of Tranquility point. And this is one of my favorite modifications on it. So what I'm going to invite you to do is to go ahead and come into this hand gesture, bringing it to your heart or just slightly away from your heart, and taking a couple nice deep breaths of your choice as you hold this gesture. And as you continue to hold this gesture, I'd invite you to just think about, to consider everything that this gesture represents. For me, I literally think of it as guarding my heart. That I'm the one here who is in control of what I let into my heart and what I let pour from my heart. That this is my boundary. So if that idea resonates with you, I invite you to just take a couple of moments, continuing to breathe and reflect on that. And then when you're ready, go ahead and release. And just take a moment to check in and notice. If you're a musical theater nerd like me, the second hand gesture we're going to be doing today may be reminiscent of The Sound of Music. When I first learned this mudra in a yoga class, that was immediately where my head went. If you know the old musical, The Sound of Music, there's that great scene where they're singing "Tea I Drink with Jam and Bread," and this is the gesture that they're making. So go ahead and come into that, just using your fingers to kind of grip each other here, making sure that the shoulders melt away from the ears. I know I have that hypervigilant tendency to spike the shoulders up, and doing a gesture like this, because of the pressure that I'm creating here with the fingers, always reminds me to let the shoulders take their proper place, which is with the arms and not up at the ears. So go ahead and take a few moments breathing deeply and just holding out this gesture. Now you may notice, even in doing this gesture, that you're experiencing a subtle energetic shift, which is great. Here's my favorite part of the exercise though, and that is letting go of the fingers while keeping the shoulders where they were at. And take a moment here as you breathe to notice your posture. Notice your shoulders. For me, I always find that after doing this gesture and releasing it, my spine is straighter. I'm sitting or standing in a posture that suggests more assertiveness, more confidence. So if this exercise seems like it would be a good fit for you, continue to practice it until you really get the hang of the technique of it. And then if you're out there in life and you find yourself struggling with not being able to stand up for yourself, not being able to really speak your voice, I challenge you to notice your posture, because usually when we're in those situations of doubt, we do tend to slouch or we tend to spike because we're afraid of what people are going to think, or we're afraid of the situation. So if you can take a moment to go outside, to get to some private place, to come into this as a reminder. Or you may get to a point where you don't actually need to come into the gesture itself, but you can just bring up the visual association of it. Then you may notice that your posture is where you need it to be to really experience that healthy, assertive, upright posture in your upper body and really through your whole body. Have fun with this. Keep experimenting with this. This is Dr. Jamie Marich, wishing you wellness.